Here we go. Boy, doing some stanky stuff. So, I don't know if you saw the preview. Cutting a little different, going with some aluminum. Bunch of aluminum beer can and pop can. So those are heating up now, and boy, do they stink. Don't do this in a closed area. I'm in my garage with the fan blowing out and the garage door wide open. But let's see how it goes and check in a bit. Just a quick update for you guys on this. Don't recycle your cans or aluminum tabs with one of these little furnaces unless you have a lot of time to waste. There's so much garbage in there. See that big piece of slag? Yeesh. Alright. Well, melted down a good chunk of these can tabs. Let's scrape some crap off the top. There's going to be a lot of this crap. I'm looking in there. I can see some definite liquid aluminum down there. Actual good stuff is still boiling at the bottom. So far this is an experiment. Thought I'd try to extract aluminum from can tabs, and with the electric one, not so good. I might save all this slag for when I get a gas powered furnace, but kind of a pain in the butt. Would not recommend, but I still want to see if I can get enough to pour at least a little bar. We'll check back in a bit, see what we got going on. All right, see some nice liquid in there. Let's give this a shot. I heat up the mold. Pretty sure I got all the crap out of there. My goodness. Yeah. I don't know. I'll remelt it at some point with a hotter furnace, but for now, I think this little guy just can't handle that much. We do small batches, which is a pain in the butt. But anyway, let's see what we got here. Whoa, turn that off. Check that out. It's a bubbling blob. That looks pretty though. Don't stick your fingers in there, kids. Crazy. This is the first time pouring aluminum too. So it definitely has a much different characteristic. Cooling, melting. I mean, it melts super fast for the most part. That's a nice little chunky bar. So I'm gonna let that cool down. I'm gonna load this thing back up because I got a whole bunch of these tabs I want to try to get to, and I'm trying to make a few good bars that I can melt down and actually use for useful molds, sand casting. Got a buddy that's asked me to do a couple pieces, basically so he can make a mold around them for leather. So I'm working on that, and has been part of the purpose of why I started wanting to melt. Anyways, enough of my chit chat. Be back in a bit. And another little safety tip for you guys. When you're doing this, make sure you're in a well ventilated area. And with aluminum stuff, especially when you're recycling or melting to recycle, wear a mask or some kind of respirator, anything, because see that smoke coming off? That's because I just put new stuff in there. But watch this. Actually pushing that down into the melt. And close that up for a second just to reduce, but everything in there is hot enough, and aluminum melts so fast. See that? And just push, oops, push all the new stuff right in there. But all that smoke. Alright, we'll be back when I get some more slop cleaned out and ready to pour the next bar. I don't know if you noticed that big pile over there is getting bigger. And there's the first bar. But we'll show that off later. Before the slag pile gets bigger and I choke to death on these fumes. Actually, I'm being pretty safe. But guess who's here? You guys know what to do. If you don't, read the description. Alright, gloves going on, torch coming on. You know what that means. Let's get another bar. Once it's all cleaned up and I can use it for other molds, it's going to be a lot more fun. But I don't like this part. Look. Nice little bar. Alright guys. Oh, this is going to be the last pour for this session of aluminum. I tell you, it stinks. But as you can see, I skipped ahead. I already got 4 bars done. And figured I'd do a 5th one tonight. And look at all that pile of mess up here. Let's there is still going to be some aluminum in there. But I'll melt that down another time. Like I said, when I get a big gas one, that would be cool just to play around with. And you can see how the little one didn't catch it all. There's like pieces of the slag where, look, like bottle caps didn't even, or bottle tabs didn't even melt in all the way. But I'll guarantee most of that stuff is the byproducts, not the aluminum itself. Because, well, you can tell when you scoop it out. Let's see where we're at here. It's a different texture altogether, for one. Like when you get down to pure silver, or sorry, aluminum, force of habit. Sorry guys. You can tell it's not so sloppy like this crap. I mean, there is still aluminum in there, but oh, don't drop that on your toe, dumbass. But you get down to scrape out the crap, But look, now you see how that, notice how runny that gets right there? Now we know we're down to the good aluminum. So I'll put that cap back on for a second. Let it all heat up nice and hot. Maybe scrape one more little bit off the top and then I'll pour it. And this all happens in just a few seconds, really. The nice thing about aluminum, super low melting temp. Now it says 660 degrees Celsius is a melting temp of aluminum. Now I'm using my 2 auto. I have it cranked up to 790 because it just works better that way. These things, you know, if you follow the guide and follow the temp they tell you for melting point, you'll run into where it's just hot enough to melt. And the second you pull the crucible out to pour it, it's already cooling down. So it's much advised to crank up the temp, heat up your metals a little hotter, on these especially, and you won't have such a problem. Alright, let's check it out. Oh yeah, we're good. So I always fire up my torch. Do this just to make sure the mold is nice and hot and dry. I mean, I know I just poured a few seconds ago, but I like to leave mine running while I'm pouring. And it doesn't hurt anything. You might even get some cool ripples. With silver, it works amazing. But aluminum is a different beast. Alright, check this out. Boom. Aluminum, I've noticed, is also way different. It melts super fast, but it cools super slow. Kind of odd. Like, well, you see that? It's still moving around underneath that shell. Just for fun. And I don't even have to hammer it. Here, just... How's that for a stamp? That's aluminum. Anyways, let's see if we can get this out. It usually takes a few minutes or so for it to actually drop out. But the cool part, so far I've noticed, if you just let that set, give her a few taps, just a tappy. After a couple minutes, this is just going to slide out on its own. I'm going to let the camera roll. We'll time lapse this with some music for you guys so you can kind of see what happens. And it's kind of neat. Guess you could say aluminum's a grower, not a shower. Look at that. Look, watch. Here we go. Plop. Just like that. Wow. See, even in water, it takes a while to really stop that cool down, and that's going to still be too hot for me to grab right now. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to end this one, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you like what you saw and can hit that subscribe, like, and comment and all that good stuff, you know. Helps me out, helps channel out, keeps me going. Thanks, guys. Later.